Hey, what's up guys? So a couple of things before this video starts. First of all, click the bell notification. It's either here or it's here. Every time I make an upload, you'll be notified. That way you don't miss an upload. Number two is we're going through a thunderstorm right now, so you may or may not hear some rain hitting the roof. If you do and it's distracting to you, I do apologize. I'll try to avoid that in the future. Anyways, this video is about problems. Okay, we all go through problems in life. Now, I'm not talking about the small, trivial problems. I'm talking about the big ones, you know, the ones that make you feel like curling up in a ball and hiding from the world. Those types of problems. Now, sometimes in life, problems are unavoidable. So we have to learn how to deal with these problems. And I'm gonna share with you these 4 principles that I've cultivated over the years that have helped me get through every single problem, no lie. The big ones, I'm not talking about little ones. And right now, I'm actually going through something. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but I'm going through something right now that is huge. It's huge, but if you look at me and you see me in my day-to-day life, I'm calm, I'm cool, and I'm collected because I know that everything is going to be okay. So the principles that I'm going to share with you are, number 1, respond to your situations, not react. Number 2 is to focus on the solutions and not the problems themselves. Number 3 is to ask yourself, how could this get any worse than what it is now? And number 4 is to ask yourself, what can I learn here? So let's focus on number 1, learning to respond to your situations, not react. A reaction is kind of just what it sounds like. It is an action that is based on your current emotional peak state. It is an action that takes no thought whatsoever. Just like when a doctor hits the knee and the knee bounces up, that is an automated response. And so when we react to situations, it drives us in a deeper hole than where we were when we first started. Now, let's just take a very basic example of anger. When people are angry, they don't think. They just act based off of their anger. When people are going through road rage, what happens is their anger clouds their ability to be able to think and respond logically. So people will do things under the state of road rage that they normally wouldn't do. You've maybe heard of people who have fist fought, fighting in the streets because of road rage, or some rare cases where people will get out of the car and kill someone with a knife, with a gun. I mean, we do things in our peak emotional states that we wouldn't do otherwise. And the idea is that you want to respond to the situations, because when you respond, it helps you avoid sinking any lower than you currently are. So let's just say, for example, someone punches me in the face. Now, I can either react or I can respond to that situation. If I respond, I'm going to evaluate the consequences of me hitting him back. I'm going to evaluate essentially the whole situation. Why did he hit me? Do I want to hit him back? What will happen if I hit him back? All of these things. And when you do that, when you respond, it helps you to give a clear, level-headed approach to the problem. But again, when you react, it's just an automated response that could get you deeper in the hole that you currently are. So no matter what you're going through, whether it be you've got a big amount of debt looming over your head, or maybe you just lost your job, learn to respond to the situations, because a response will help you find possible solutions that you wouldn't have been able to see otherwise through your emotional peak state. Number 2 is focus on the solutions and not the problems. For some reason, people love to talk about the problems. They love to talk about what's going on that is wrong with their situation instead of focusing on what could be right. Now, when you focus on a situation, when you focus on a problem, the problem's not going to change because you're focusing on it, okay? If anything, it's just going to make it worse. So why not focus on things that could make it better? Don't be that person who talks to everyone about their problems, because if anything, those people that are talking to you are just going to feed the flame. They're going to make it even worse. So focus only on the solutions. Personally, I rarely share what I'm going through if it's a non-favorable circumstance, because I know that the only thing that's going to help me get through the situation is not the pity of other people. It is me taking responsibility and finding possible solutions. So really take that to heart. Don't talk about the problems, talk about possible solutions. Principle number 3 is to ask yourself, how could this get any worse? Now, this is an NLP technique, or a game if you want to call it that essentially helps you to understand that the problem that you're going through is not as bad as you might think it is. Of course, it's not favorable, and of course, it's not going to change the situation, but going through a list of ways in how your situation could get worse than what it is will truly help you understand that your situation is not that bad and that there are solutions to your problems. Maybe you start comparing your situation to other people. For instance, let's just say, oh, I don't have a job and I'm broke. Okay, yeah, that's a bad situation, but who else out there has it worse than you? What about that homeless guy that you've been passing every day on the street, who's got no shelter, no home, no food every single day of his life? You have opportunity. That individual has it a lot rougher than you. So when you can go through a list of all the ways that your situation can be worse, it does a couple of things. It helps you to, one, feel better about your situation, and two, feel that you have power and control in the situation and that you can get yourself out of whatever it is that you're in right now. And principle number 4 is to ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? Of course, no one wants to ask themselves when they're going through something that they don't want to be going through, what can I learn here? But truly ask yourself, what lessons are here for me to learn that I can apply to my future? Most times what I would learn is that the problem is not the problem. I am the problem. Okay, for instance, I always used to have car problems. My car always used to be mechanically failing. I would always have to spend money to get it repaired, to get it towed. You know what I learned was that the problem was not the car itself. The problem was me not maintaining the car as best as I should. Now, there was times where I knew that I needed to take my car to get checked out, okay? The check engine light's on, this light's blinking, the tires are low. Whatever the case is, I let the situation get worse by not handling it myself, by not taking responsibility and taking control of the situation. So whatever you're going through, even the thing that I'm going through right now, I ask myself, what can I learn here? And I learned that it is my irresponsibility that got me into this situation in the first place. And so what you can do is you can take these lessons and apply them to your future from this point forward. So you better believe that when I learned this, I stopped having car problems that day, okay? I became really proactive handling my car, okay? Making sure that it was maintained, and not just my car, but other things in life as well. So those are the 4 principles. These principles can be applied not just to your problems, but just into your everyday life. What I have found by doing this is I found that I can learn to live a more peaceful life, but also a life where I take more responsibility for myself, for my emotions, and for my situations. So I hope you find some value in this video, and I hope you start applying some of these, if not all of them, to your life today. Peace.